Hello, my name is Maria del Prado Camacho Alarcón. I'm an English teacher at the Visual Languages School in Spain. I also work at the Faculty of Education of Ciudad Real, teaching English language and its didactics. And I've got the pleasure to share some time with you here at CIVAE and to present my topic about gamification in the English as a second language classroom. Hope you enjoy it. Over the last few decades, the education world has significantly changed into a more student-centered approach in which learning is both a cognitive and motivational process. For this reason, we teachers are responsible for implementing social-emotional learning with challenging activities to concerning the functional diversity in our students' brains to promote cooperation and pro-social attitudes. Gamification in the English as a second language classroom induces to our students active participation in their own learning process. In the following article, presentation, we will differentiate between game-based learning and gamification. We will analyze how gamification can help our students to improve attentional processes and motivation, and therefore their linguistic competence as a result of enhancing a positive learning atmosphere in which they make mistakes and they are understood as part of the game. To conclude, we will understand the importance of learning actions in the context, which will be favored in a gamified classroom, and how gamification provides us with the relevant tools not only to offer the correct input, but also to develop our students' for linguistic skills. The education world has enormously changed from traditional content transmission methodologies towards more dynamic methods to ensure our students' participation. Neuroeducation has provided us with significant knowledge about how our brain works, and we teachers cannot help using this information in order to obtain the best results for our students. Furthermore, one of our main goals as teachers, making a positive mark on them, and a carefully planned student-centered programming will assure it by offering them not only cognitive but also personal and emotional success. In this presentation, we will examine the importance of a student-centered approach for favorable outcome of the learning teaching process to get the most out of our students' skills and promote cooperative and pro-social attitudes. Moreover, we will learn about the difference between gamification and game-based learning and how both help to wake our students' curiosity and consequently attention and motivation towards objectives we aim. And me as an ESL teacher, the outstanding benefits of gamification brings to improve students' linguistic competence have always become evident. In addition, the use of natural approach and understand mistakes as part of the game present a powerful remedy to prevent them from the stress that may arise during academic performance. And that being so, leads us to significant learning development. To conclude, we will focus on how to develop our students' skills in the ESL classroom for promoting different linguistic skills. Thanks to the evolution of education methodologies, student-centered learning, SCL, has become an essential subject to consider. And in student-centered approaches, learners' needs and interests are key to program and design materials. Yet certain flexibility of the curriculum will be required, as well as reminding teachers our role as guides and supporters who facilitate fruitful learning and make their students reflect upon their own learning. To our delight, SCL is being increasingly implemented in order to empower our students to interact and participate in their own learning process. Furthermore, the relevance of planning according to our learners' previous knowledge guarantees well-balanced, motivating learning. On the other hand, this reminds us Vygotski's theory of social learning, which states that we learn in social conditions and we interact with peers and more experienced people. And on the other hand, theory of the scaffolding, which was enriched by Hammond and Gibbons' work by setting difference between design-in and contingent scaffolding. Whereas the first then makes reference to in-discipline contexts in which sequence and structured tasks have been carefully planned, contingent scaffolding just takes place during student-teacher interaction. Moreover, once the students have certain control over their own learning, self-esteem and motivation are boosted, and they will not only become more autonomous learners, but also future critical thinkers to our society. Although both gamification and game-based learning intentionally use games with learning purposes, it is important to remark that there is a substantial difference, as gamification consists of using games in a not ludic environment, taking game mechanics and game-based elements to enhance on behalf of our students' motivation and engagement. They may see different to be distinguished since both convey learning and game experiences and focus on boosting our students' attention and motivation, as well as developing positive attitudes to obtain academic and socio-emotional achievement. Yet, gamification provides us with innovative methods which use game-based elements in non-ludic environments to intentionally arise both extrinsic, using mechanics such as achievement budgets, points, levels, etc., and intrinsic motivation, when their brain reward system gets activated by their own feeling of achievement and belonging to a group. Whereas in gamification, we use game-based elements in an instructional context, game-based learning is the method itself. That is to say, everything has been planned to fulfill the curriculum, objectives, and contents in such a way students can learn and get feedback from the game-based activities in a game framework. Here you can see some of the game-based elements or ingredients we will need to have a perfect cake. Some tools to be considered in our programming are roles, which must be clearly defined so that they'll know what to expect and what their roles are. Goals, as they mean a challenge and activate their competitive nature. Interactivity, as it makes games easier to play because they become active and they get less frustration and better performances. Feedback, as they understand the consequences of their choices and learn about their own learning process. And it also provides them with high transfer, less misconception. Competition generates excitement and develops creativity. Consequently, it has a deep influence on our classroom climate and students' behavior. Affective state is a positive one in which mistakes are naturally understood as part of the process, decreases frustration and stress in our students. And display system, which has an effect on our students' immersion feeling. Technology has furnished us with almost unlimited information and favors communication in L2 in different social networks, as well as counting on user-designed games and apps to be used in the ESL classroom, to work on content and even enrich sociocultural aspects to gain fluency. Thus, the use of gamification together with technology will help the L2 learner throughout the language experience while developing their linguistic skills, dealing challenges and solving problems. As Figueroa states in his study, gamification presents multiple opportunities to participate in a social game, and consequently they behave naturally to feelings and willingly follow social rules. Moreover, the use of games in the ESL classroom has shown a rewarding development of empathy. In fact, it increases empathic behaviors among students. What is more, it can change the meaning of effort so that learners feel competent and pleased in their English class, so as to get significant learning. Finally, taking into consideration our target audience, practical proposals to be implemented in the ESL classroom include the use of, among others, Duolingo, ClassDojo, Edma, Zondel, Socrative, and Brainscape, uh, and we can get easy access using the internet. Students need motivating educational contexts to get engaged in their own learning, which is the reason why gamification has exponentially been implemented. Moreover, when students feel certain control and autonomy in their own learning process, they also interact socially with other peers, which help them achieve more goals than on their own. Moreover, a natural approach in the ESL platform in which mistakes are considered part of the game while developing their linguistic competence, and teachers who facilitate effective learning create a more relaxed learning atmosphere to also contribute to stress-free academic performance and proficient social relationships. To my parents, Jaime and Rosalina, for all their effort and love. To my sweet, playful son, Matteo, because you always inspire me and you are the reason for me to work hard. You are my growing seed of motivation and love. Walt Disney said, fun is in always building something. After it's built, you play with it a while, and then you're through. You see, we never do the same thing twice around here. We're always opening up new doors. So let's open them. So let's make our students love what they're doing, love what they're learning. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching and listening.